Nichijou Nanami held tight to the sword born from her own blood. Using her left hand alone, she only laid her right wrist against it. The blood dripping from the bandage on her wrist fell slowly down the gutter formed by her sword.
痛い。知ってたの？ナナち
Where's the loading screen? Nichijou Nanami held tight to the sword born from her own blood. Using her left hand alone, she only laid her right wrist against it. The blood dripping from the bandage on her wrist fell slowly down the gutter formed by her sword.
痛い。知ってたの？ナナちゃんがギガロマニアックスだって。
Mimi's question was aimed at Norose, who feigned being a mere bystander. No matter how much she glared at him, his face remained cool.
偶然の産物というものですよ。
Yeah, sure. Like I would believe that.
ナナちゃんにひどいことしたくせに何が偶然なの？
君の時のような苦労はしませんでした。我が社にはすでに覚醒させるためのマニュアルが確立していますから。もっとも西条匠にだけはそのマニュアルも通用しませんが、イレギュラーな化け物は扱いづらいことこの上ない。
Irregular monster?
化け物だなんて言わないで。
君も化け物だからですか？
そういう話はしてない。
虚無から生まれたものだからと言い換えた方が良かったですね。
Is Rimi the same as Takumi in that regard? Mimi averted her eyes. Amid a lip infection, her trembling still wouldn't stop. In spite of her thinking she had to save Nanami, her feet remained rooted to the floor and wouldn't move for her. Norase, on the other hand, was the very picture of calm, as he appreciatively caressed Nanami on the head. Nanami hadn't shown any reaction. Face lowered, she repeated her shallow breaths.
闇のある一点だけを灯しているスポットライト。その周囲には無数の死体が転がっているのでしょうが、誰にも見えない。君自身にもです。
そんな話やめて。
例えば君が自殺をしたら、スポットライトは数十センチ横にずれて君を闇で覆ってくれるでしょう。そして何も知らない別の誰かが代わりにスポットライトを浴びる。
At Rimi's sharp voice, Norase shrugged his shoulders and held his peace.
痛い。ナナちゃんを解放してほしいんだけど。
拘束は解きましたが、
連れて帰る。
構いませんよ。もう用済みです。
Okay, so awakening Gigamaniacs for some reason, trying to manipulate people's dead spots in order to make them see things that are not there. using the megalomaniacs to make those things real? When you think about Takumi and the flower bed, what happened? But I don't know how Takumi is related to the megalomaniacs and how he's different. How this is connected with New Gen exactly.
ナナちゃん、帰ろう。その件は消して。だったら、バングル返して。返すから。
Mimi knew where Nanami's hand was in safekeeping that day. The night Nanami's hand had been delivered to Takumi's room. That's so weird. Because all this time I thought this was just some creepy delusion. But either it started as a delusion and Takumi's mind made it real, or this has been real all along. After Takumi trembled in humiliation atop the roof of Front and collapsed there, Mimi had retrieved the hand from inside his fridge. Now Shogun had it. He had preserved it, freezing it so it wouldn't rot. The bangle too was there.
お兄からもらったの。ナナのだよ、バングル。勝手に持って行ってひどいよ。
Nanami's voice, whose words had also sounded like those uttered in delirium, grew more and more savage.
落ち着いて深呼吸して。自分をしっかり持って。
一つ聞きますが、
Norris's abrupt interjection made me inwardly click their tongue.
西条匠にとっては君たち二人のうちどちらがより重要度が高い存在ですか？
That would be Nanami. Mimi lowered her eyes.
リミさんなんか。
In opposition, Nanami raised her gaze. Light had returned to her once empty eyes. It was so fiery as to be described as deviant. As Rimi hastily tried to brace herself, her body shrank back at the sudden arrival of darkness. It was as though the lights had been cut. Rimi didn't know whether it was something done deliberately or an accident.
負けちゃダメ。
Rimi murmured, as if to encourage herself. Her voice made the air tremble, but it soon melted into the darkness. She noticed she had stopped hearing that rolling sound from Noah too. She hated the dark, because it made her recollect the memories of that time. Mimi turned her head. What spread out before her was an endless deep darkness. Not a single thing one might call light existed there. Could she see nothing because her surroundings were dark? Was she not seeing anything because her vision wasn't working? She lost even her sense of up and down. She no longer had understood where she was. Darkness invaded her five senses, and she lost her ability to distinguish her own physical body. Or else, it was as though her flesh had transfigured to vapor, as though her consciousness were splitting out of its vessel. The past and the present melted together, and the memories began intermingling. When was now? When was the past? A single beam of light shone into the world, covered in the perfect blackness. In the center of the circular spotlight, Remy hugged her knees. Remy looked at this from the midst of the darkness. It was the same as that time. That time, Remy had possessed nothing. Before she knew it, she was being confined and tortured. Her psychological agony was worse than the physical agony. Hellish days of only enduring it. Remy knew nothing of who she had been before then. When and how had they imprisoned her? How long had they been torturing her? Remy didn't know. She had a feeling that it wasn't amnesia. She felt as though the instant she unexpectedly awoke, consciousness known as herself had been born. Maybe the personality that had resided in this body until then had wanted to escape the overwhelming hardship and had committed suicide inside her own delusions. And maybe the current Remy had then been born as a new personality. Maybe there had been many different personalities before her. Maybe even the name Takehata Remy was in truth something different each time. To myself, I don't exist. She sensed something moving in the darkness. Remy stood up and dragged herself towards his presence. She moved. The spotlight followed her. The real identity of the presence. Was that Remy lying down there? Without looking at Remy, Remy murmured,
あなたは何番目？私は
So is she artificially being born each time as some kind of copy of the original? Like some kind of Remy blueprint, so to say? That ironically makes her as real as the Takumi inside the delusion. Remy's eyeballs twitched wildly. Tears overflowed incessantly from the corners of her eyes. Her T-sword slipped and fell from her hands. Remy sank down in place with a thump. Like a child, covering her face with her hands, feebly shaking her head. I'm sorry. I didn't last. Nanmi watched her expressionlessly. Norrisay snorted as though it bored him. Oh god. Why did we have to cut away at that point? And of course Takumi would snap when he saw his sister disappear into light before his eyes. Also, nice saber figure. Nanmi had disappeared without a trace. She had dissolved into bubbles before my eyes. She hadn't existed as anything of substance.
どこだよ。出てきてよ。いるんだろう。また、いたずらか。隠れてるんだ。やめろよ。
Tears made my side go fuzzy, no matter how I wiped them and wiped them. They kept welling up, hot droplets. But even this heat, and even the emotions making me weep, were delusions, because I myself was a delusion. Nanmi had been a delusion. I'd been an idiot for expecting something of her, even for a second. My hope had been rapidly shattered. Why does this feel like more and more like a bad ending somehow?
で、いつ、この妄想って冷めるの？早く冷めてよ。
So, when Rimi said that she didn't want Takumi to wake up, did she mean that she doesn't want the real Takumi that has been institutionalized, hospitalized, doesn't want to awaken? I myself didn't really know who I was talking to, but in any case, I wanted someone to listen to me, and I didn't care who.
この妄想が覚めたら、僕は本当はイケメンなんだ。そうに決まってる。物分かりのいい妹と、優しい姉がいるんだ。かわいい彼女と付き合ってて、その子はリミとかセナみたいな電波女じゃなくて、セーラタンみたいないい子なんだ。
あなたは妄想の存在なんだよ。
Falling on the floor on my hands and knees, I buried my head in a mountain of garbage and clutched at seira-tan. I punched the floor, frenetically trying to avert my eyes from reality, but I couldn't do it. Rimi's words repeated themselves mercilessly inside my head.
死にたい。死にたいよ。どうして誰も僕を殺してくれないんだ。ねえ、セーラタン殺して、僕を殺して。
そんなに死にたいの？
死にたい。こんなのもう嫌だ。自分の存在が嫌だ。何も考えたくない。生きていたくない。
かわいそうなタッキー。だったらすぐに殺される方法を教えてあげる。
Just as expected from a wife of mine, seira-tan always showed me tireless devotion. Oh, she doesn't give a shit.
とりあえず外に出るさ。
外に？
Standing up, as she told me, I left my base, all the while catching my feet on pieces of trash, and almost tripping multiple times. I harbored no doubts about doing so. seira-tan was the only one who would never betray me. Because she was my bride, and I lost my mind. Because she wasn't a 3D girl. When I came outside, a strange noise struck my ears. This sound, I felt like I'd heard it somewhere before.
この音を追いかけて。
追いかけたら殺してもらえるの？
そういうこと。
優しく殺してもらえるかな？
私が保証するよ。
よかった。やっと死ねる。
This sound was my messiah, the key to my salvation, inviting me toward a more restful land. Holding seira-tan, I began walking in the direction the noise was coming from. The sound drew nearer and farther over and over, almost as if it were leading the way for me, and it seemed about to catch up. It would rapidly go far away. When it seemed about to lose track of where it was coming from, it would approach me and wait for me, like it has a will of its own. A sound with its own will. It was evocative of Shogun, and his face flickered at the back of my brain, but I soon stopped caring either way. Oh no, not, it was him. I didn't mind who it turned out to be, as long as they were going to kill me. I also stopped thinking about what the sound true form might be. I was going to die in a little while anyway, and I was a delusionary existence. But there was no meaning in my pondering it. Making the inside of my head a white blank, I albeit unconsciously wheeled my way after the sound, like a moth swarming into the direction of light. The area around me grew boisterous, I began losing track of the sound. Clicking my tongue, I was about to look for the source of this racket when I had a start. At some point, I had ended up standing in the pedestrian scramble. I realized that the noise came from the astoundingly huge crowd of people filling this intersection. Once I clicked green, so I might or my mouth have screwed things up. We were pretty much back together like sardines. Everyone was pushing and shoving, like on the morning train to work. It was an even greater number of people, and at the time of my live broadcast from the forefront. What do you think of it? Then I posted about it in the chat. If I would be a major party at this scramble crossing tonight. So what's going on? I already have nice memories of this place. Why did you take me here?
リベンジってこと。
Besides, who's the person who's supposed to kill me?
目の前にいるっしょ。
A suddenly large crowd on a chilly autumn night. What kind of party would be held when a gathering of people so massive they had no room to breathe? Everyone was paying attention to me. I braced myself, thinking they were going to integrate me, sneer at me and expose me to humiliation again, like they had before. Trauma from back then made my knees go weak. But
応援してるね。頑張って師匠君。
華々しく散ってこい。若いのに勇気があるわね。お前のこと忘れないからな。最後まで見守っててやるぞ。男を見せてくれ。
the spectators' reaction were utterly different from last time. Everyone spoke to me kindly and encouragingly. This was why I blinked countless times, even like I wasn't taken in. There's some kind of trickster spirit. They're going to cheer me on.
そのための祭りだもん。
Cheer me on to do what? Exactly.
みんなさ、ハッピー待っててくれたんだよ。
The family was a pathway created by people lining up on either side. I went so far as to holding over the arch with their hands, and they were waiting for me to pass through. I was practically like an elementary school graduation ceremony. The path led up to an entrance door front. I timidly began advancing down it. The rest of the me grew warmer still. Furthermore, when I set foot inside out front, even the store clerks from Tatsuya and Sutaba welcomed me with applause. Bravery rose steadily within me. Bravery in the face of death. The room out front was as dim as ever. I sucked in a breath. The bitter experiences I'd been through the last time I came here revived in me, making me briefly hesitant to keep going forward. Even though I'd mustered my courage and everything, I became aware of my own never-ending uselessness.
きっと戻ってくると信じてたよ。
The sound of a wheelchair's wheel creaking. Along with it, in the same way as before, Shogun showed himself. He was wearing a Darth Spider helmet today as well. On top of that, Shogun wasn't the only one here.
よくもう一度挑戦する気になったな。
What are you doing here, Sana?
匠じゃん、すごいな。西条くんのおかげで私も勇気をもらいました。君はとても崇高だわ、匠。
Okay, this is your delusion. No doubt about that. Sana, kozu-pii, Yua, Ayase. They all stood in a row and smiled at me.
一緒に飛ぶわ、私たち。あなたと。だからね、怖くないよ。
Kozu-pii and Ayase each took hold of one of my hands. Nor was it only those two. Sana and Yua were part of it too. 5 of us had joined hands. Is this a reenactment of the group diving? That was what I was thinking of. So either this is a delusion, which I'm leaning towards, or they're getting rid of 5 gigalomaniacs in one swoop. Mass of people who had been watching us protectively from below, with bated breath, burst into spontaneous applause, as though to bless us, as though to praise us.
さようなら。君のことは忘れないよ。
I'm not gonna lie, I'm confused as hell. Shogun waved his thin hand. Kozu-pii and Ayase pulled me along. As though we were frolicking, as though we were dancing, all smiling tenderly. As a result, I didn't feel even the tiniest scrap of fear. Without any difficulty, I was able to send myself dancing smoothly out into the empty air. I mean, I'm sure this is the same technique or trick used as in the group dive. I mean, Shogun was there too.